streaming worldwide and live from Montreal. Welcome to the 2026 Innovation Showcase. Please welcome to the stage Senior Product Manager Tom Gifto-Christos and North American Sales Director Rob Park.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome. Awesome seeing everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, thank you. Welcome to our third year Innovation Showcase. We're talking about Kantech today and also ExacqVision. One of the benefits this year is we merged them together because it's not only about Kantech, but it's also ExacqVision. This year marks a very special year for us. Kantech celebrates its 40-year anniversary. That's 40 years of innovation. That's 40 years, yes. 40 years of innovation, 40 years of technology, 40 years of protecting your doors, protecting what's important to you. From the days of the KT200 and dial-up, all the way to the IP era, and now cloud. All our customers are evolving. It's very important to us. We love that you guys are with us. Rob, what does the 40-year mean to you?
Great question, Tommy. I could start by saying I get a great sense of pride naturally. We've been a company that has continued to grow for 40 years, which is phenomenal. I think that the thing that really stands out the most is, and this is a conversation that Tom and I were having yesterday, is the fact that one of our founding architects, one of our very first employees ever that started with us 40 years ago, is still here and well with us today 40 years later. Same thing for the partners, many of you that are out here today in the audience and also connecting via live stream. The fact that we can have conversations with dealers that have installed product 30, 40 years ago, still lead with the product today, unbelievable success story for all of us. So great sense of pride.
I couldn't agree more.
Yep. Thank you, Tom.
So the celebrations are massive. We have parties across the world, across everywhere, watching us live on streaming, and we're going to show you some really cool stuff. On behalf of Rob, myself, and the entire team, we want to thank you, the customer, our partners, for being with us so many years. I'll be back with some really exciting stuff later.
Thank you, Tom. So, naturally, with the name and the title, Innovation Showcase, you're going to hear a lot about product during the presentation today. But before we get into that, I really wanted to spend just a few minutes, although I've been told a few minutes. This could last 30 minutes. We don't know how this is going to go. Talking about really the two things that define how I have viewed the business and will continue to view the business. And really, it's a simple formula that I put on a paper here. So it starts with ideas, which we'll refer to as ideation, which is really you, our valued partner. I want to make it very clear that you are absolutely our number one asset through and through. There's no question about it. Everything starts and begins with you. And I know that kind of falls on deaf ears. We hear that all the time. We have a lot of deep-rooted relationships. We have a lot of relationships that go back several decades, which we just spoke to. One of the things that affords us is the ability to have very difficult, at times, very honest conversations. And those honest conversations that I've also been privy to typically revolve around the things that we're doing great, but also the things that we're doing very poorly at, right? Areas of improvement. Where do we need to improve? What do we need to do to put you back into the winning seat? And I just want to start with the fact that everything starts with you. All of the strong escalations and demands that you guys have had that stem from the end users, the specifier markets, they do not fall on deaf ears. We hear it, we take it in, and it literally shapes all of our internal strategic discussions. It leads to innovation, which you're going to hear about today. But more importantly, it shapes every decision that we make every single day. So I ask of you, just like I ask of all of my team, continue to be very vocal with us, please. I said this last year, and I'll continue to say it. If there are things that have bothered you in the business in months or weeks past, I want you to continue to make sure that that stays at the forefront in all the discussions you're having, especially with senior leadership on my team, so that we can continue to improve, okay? The second thing, People. So this is seemingly holistic, right? This is kind of a simple thing. What does people really mean? Well, when I view people and when I view my tenure here looking back, let's say the last 18 months, one of the most difficult challenges that we have been faced with, we hang our hat on the fact that we've had people that have been here for a very long time, including our partners. Internally, though, we always go back to, well, question, do we have the right people in the right roles that are supported by other functions with the right people in the right roles? And if you look at the 80-20 formula, we commonly determine that, that's probably not the case, right? There's always room for improvement when it comes to staffing and personnel. Maybe there's somebody that's in the sales organization that's better suited to be in the marketing team. Maybe there's somebody from the marketing team that would be better accustomed to servicing what we need at the field level in sales. So we've actually collaborated across all the functions. We've defined roles as best as possible to better support you for Tier 1. And we've made a lot of changes during the course of the last 18 months. And that's not an easy thing to do. I'm sure you can probably wrap your brain around the fact that with a large company like Johnson Controls, who stands behind Exacq and Kantech, change is not simple, and change commonly takes some time. Well, this is a completely new business. We have executive leadership that completely understands your frustrations, your needs. We know that we need to act quicker and with more urgency and more effectiveness. And we have impacted change across our entire organization in as quickly as a week, right? And that's not something that I say proudly, like, hey, look at all the people that we have moved out of the business, new people that we have moved into the business. It's simply to say, if you consider a large company like Johnson Controls, where we can see that it can be painful to make big changes, the fact that we have made so many changes so quickly hopefully impresses upon you how much we feel your pain and how hard we're working to accommodate you to better position us collectively, okay? And to round it out, it's very simple, right? If we can better assimilate and take care of you, our partners, we can internally make all of the changes that we know we need to better empower you and all of the other functions across the board, product management, engineering. We know that we can put you back in the winning seat to better improve upon all of the customer interactions that you're having, but also, of course, also to better position us for the future for all the things that we need to accommodate. If I go back to some of the changes, I want to come back to, the fact that last year was my first time, and I started out by saying that, maybe a lot of people didn't know Tom had recently been promoted. So I believe 3 years ago was the first innovation showcase we had, and it was a Kantech-specific event. Tom came on the stage, and I understand that Tom was introduced in a new role. So we had moved him from Senior Business Development Manager to Product Manager for Kantech, right? Big announcement, tremendous success. He continues to perform at a level that is unbelievable to me, to the point that I'm now making another announcement in the fact that he has been promoted again, and we kind of touched upon it at the intro. So now he is the Global Senior Product Manager for not only Kantech, but also for Exacq, okay? Tremendous success story. We love Tom and all the things that he's doing. Kudos to Tom. In addition to that, thank you. In addition to that, I can affect change in the sales team. John Stewart was another big impact on our business. I continue to be proud. I could not be more proud of John Stewart. He was an area sales manager for Exacq for a number of years. He moved in and now manages half the country. He has done so many great things with the team. The culture has shifted. Performance has increased. He's blowing the numbers out of the water, so close your ears, but target for next year. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. He's doing great things, so we continue to see great success on the sales side. There's a number of other changes that are impacted there. We were actually present in our Brossard headquarters on Monday, and we had some other leadership members that were there that unfortunately had to fly to another monthly business review meeting with our executive leadership team, so they couldn't be here. Jesse Nersessian was one of them. He's new to the team. He leads our product management team globally. Unbelievable talent. He actually has a wealth of experience on the integration side of our business. So he comes with formal knowledge of, hey, what is it that our partners deal with every day? How do we better support them and allow them to be successful with our products? But more importantly, what is it, again, that the end users are feeling? What do they need to do to be successful? And how do we better support the specified community as well? So That's just touching upon a couple of the changes that we've had, both for sales, product management. I can't see him right now with these lights, but we have another member that's new to the team. His name is Shane Nickoff. He's in the back of the room somewhere, I believe. He now leads our distribution sales program. So not only are we making changes to existing roles and constantly redefining what that role entails, but we're also creating new programs and new roles, again, to better support you, to put you back in the driver's seat, okay? So thank you again for joining us today. Hope you get a lot out of the event. I know how much work goes into this from the marketing PM teams. They've been working on this hot and heavy every day, seemingly for the last 9 months. I know it's going to be a tremendous success for you and us as well. So with that, I'd like to bring back to the stage Global Senior Product Manager, Mr. Tom Gifto-Christos.
Rob, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tommy. Welcome back.
Thank you. I should do this more often and get more promoted every year. I don't know, maybe make it CEO of this company one day. It's too much work. I'm happy where I am. All right, guys. We have a lot of innovation this year, like a lot. We wanted to make sure this 40-year is packed with innovation. So, well, we're off one slide. There you go. That's me. We also have new suits, so we all go to the same tailor, right? All right. So, with innovation, it's the continuation of getting better and better, improving our technology. What's new, right? What's better? One of the big things we have is our ioSmart Expanse. Our ioSmart Expanse is expanding the ioSmart line of cards and readers beyond a card and a reader. It's not about the card. It's not about the reader. It's what you do with it. What does the customer do with it? Every year we keep on improving on ioSmart Expanses to give it more. That's why it's called the Expanse. One of the things we've done is we have nice bracelet cards. So these are MyFair Plus cards that can be used on any ioSmart reader. Because many customers don't want those lanyards and hold them up or put them in their pocket. They have a little bracelet, they tap it, and they can move on. We obviously have our traditional cards where you can print all that technology or put them in a lanyard for more corporate environment. But for a multi-family environment, nobody goes home with a lanyard. Let's be honest, right? This is where the bracelets come in, nice little key tags. We have them in white and black and so on. All this together expands the ioSmart beyond the card. All our cards, the bracelets, the cards, the key tags, are all MyFair Plus EV2 technology, the latest technology in MyFair Plus. Now, last year, let's go back a year, we launched our two-button and four-button transmitter for ioSmart. Very huge success. The two-button and four-button transmitter can be tied to the receiver, tied to the controller. One of the benefits is this two- or four-button transmitter can be controlled on one receiver and have 4 doors on it. So this one receiver can be attached to KT4, for example, supporting our 4 doors. The customer can press the button or tap it on the reader and go through the door on the ioSmart reader. Now, Kefil's looking at me and saying, why are you talking about last year's technology? We're this year. Why are you coming back? Are you out of slides? Don't worry. We are very proud to announce that already, now, we have built-in ioprocs in our transmitters. We're going back to the existing customers and letting them use this two-button and four-button transmitter on an ioprocs reader and move them forward to ioSmart, not leaving any customer behind. Is that pretty cool? This receiver allows us to attach it to the old P700 on the same Wiegand port on the KT4 or KT1 controller and have that same receiver using these new transmitters and the old transmitters, evolving the customer to the new step. We don't want to replace everything in one shot. That's a lot of money and a lot of work, right? The user experience is what really matters, to evolve that customer to the next level, right? Now, the ioSmart doesn't stop to credentials. What's next? So we're very proud to announce in a few months that we are actually revamping entirely our EntraPass GoPass mobile credential and introducing SmartTap on EntraPass Local and Hatrix. Now, it's a very simple process. It's one step. You take your phone, You tap it on the reader, and we're done. Why open an app? I don't open my app to do anything. I just tap the phone on the ioSmart reader, and all goes there. Now, we've listened to you guys with our EntraPass Go Pass, and we've changed the enrollment process. We kept it simple. You get an email, you click on this link, or you paste it in, however you want, and then you don't need the cloud, you don't need internet, you don't need nothing. In a fully air-gapped system, you take your EntraPass Go Pass, and you tap it on the ioSmart reader to start the enrollment. The ioSmart reader will tap and will enroll that credential on the phone directly. So you don't have to worry anymore about internet, ports, firewalls, cloud servers. You could be anywhere there's an ioSmart reader, automatically starts enrolling itself. Keep it simple, get IT out of there. Pretty cool? Obviously, we're going to make it even better. For Android, we're going NFC. So you can take your smartphone, your Android phone, and just tap it on your reader using the NFC technology. So the read is pretty much efficient. For Apple, same experience, but we're using Bluetooth. So you have to get close to the phone, and it will mimic an NFC-like environment for Bluetooth. If you still have BlackBerries, time to upgrade, guys. It's unfortunately. So, why stop there? Right? We're revamping our cards. We're revamping EntraPass Go Pass to give you that smart app, that tap-and-go experience. Why stop there? What can we do more with the ioSmart Expanse? We're very proud to announce, with EntraPass Go Pass, we are going to have one mobile credential for EntraPass, Kantech, and Salto all into one. All managed. All managed through EntraPass, all managed through GoPass. So that enrollment will be the same link. You get your link, you tap your phone on the ioSmart reader. It will not only enroll your ioSmart credential, it will also enroll your Salto credential all together into one app, bringing it the experience as one. Like we say often, a door is a door is a door. The customer doesn't care what door he's at. Same thing with the card. Why should he have two apps? Why should he think which door to go with, which app to go with? To him, it's just another door that looks slightly different, but to that customer, this credential, this phone, is all the same for that customer. Pretty cool? So, one app. For EntraPass, you tap the phone and we're done. If you have Salto, you can press that one button using the same Salto experience, but we're also giving you the ability to have a office mode. It's kind of a feature that Salto offers where you can press a button and the door will unlock for a long period of time and then relock at the end of the day. So this way the customer doesn't have to open anything, press a button, change stuff to make that door do a different method. Pretty cool? That's the first feature. We're coming to that one soon. Before that, we have a nice Slido for you guys. Amy?
All right. So first Slido. So pull out your smartphones, whether you're live in the room or somewhere else around the world, and use the QR code so that we can get these answers from you. So what we're looking for on this one is which type of credential is most widely used with your customers? So we're talking about when you're evolving your customers from procs to smart cards or to mobile credentials. So are we only using smart card technology to leverage the benefits of the encrypted smart cards? With the procs technology, although it can limit our customer experience, is cost the only factor? Our mobile credentials are the technology that you're leading with, or biometric readers are a key factor for replacing credentials. So take those out and take a vote. Again, you should be able to use your smartphone and get onto there. All right, so we've got some answers coming in here. So mobile credentials are the technology most people are leading with as of right now, followed secondly by leveraging the smart card technology for the encryption benefits. Looks like that's holding pretty true. So glad to see that we're not just weighing everything on cost and looking at what is best for our customers. Excellent. Tom, back to you.
That's great. It's all about the user experience. Cost is one thing, right? But that user experience gives that customer the next thing. By the way, on the live stream on YouTube, there's a little QR code at the bottom left usually. You can scan that and get more information. So every time you see something, scan it, put your name, your email, pick what you want to know more, and we'll get back to you very quickly. So you should appear periodically. Just scan it with your smartphone. Again, Android or iPhone. BlackBerry is a bit too old. And you can scan and get more info. Pretty exciting? All right. We're still not here. Don't worry. EntraPass Bacnet is coming out very, very soon, right? EntraPass Bacnet gives us the ability to attach a Kantech system to a Metasys or FX Bacnet controller for HVAC control. This is where we can take an access granted event, for example, a door forced open event, and trigger a Bacnet point action. For example, I'm the first guy coming in the office. Why do I have to turn on the air condition, right? Or why do I have to turn on the heating, depending if you're in Canada or not, right? So when you swipe the card, the first person, the access granted on the Kantech system, sends the signal to the Bacnet point and starts the HVAC, for example, or the heating. It's pretty cool, but it's also bi-directional. We can take a Bacnet point, a CO2 sensor, a thermostat sensor, and trigger a Kantech component into the EntraPass system. You're not dependent one way. It's totally bi-directional, allowing us to configure that system. Like with anything that we develop, our blended integrations, we pick targeted integrations, giving that customer the flexibility of using it in the entire ecosystem. It's not about Bacnet and access control. We also have video. Now I can take this Bacnet point and associate it to a camera. So when this Bacnet point goes an alarm, a tamper or alert, I can have the ExacqVision, which is the best video recorder in my opinion, not suddenly, right? Pop up on the camera automatically, and you could see this video. So it's not about just bringing a component in the software, it's about tying it together in the platform. Pretty cool? All right. Our next thing is we can allow us to configure our actual components. You could say a door, a relay, and a component into one platform. We have another Slido. Amy, back to you.
Yes, all right. So we're talking about multifamily solutions here. So how important is a unified solution between the tenant manager, Salto locks, and your access control? Again, grab those smartphones, scan the QR code if you haven't already. So first option, offering a tenant system with access control and offline locks for a single pane of glass experience is most important. Or tenant access is the primary factor for my customers with wired access doors. Or my decision is based solely on price and is completely independent, and systems that are separate are acceptable. So right now, 100% is the offering the tenant system with the single pane of glass. So very important to those voting.
Wow, it's 100%.
Some are coming in, they're coming in a little bit. We have a little bit of a delay, I know, as they're coming in. So a little bit more with the primary factor with wired access doors. And again, we're not basing things on price. We're doing what's right for our customers. So that's fantastic.
That's very exciting.
Feel free to keep voting as you're getting it in, because I know that it's different for each person watching. So this is still live, so keep voting, and Tom will take it back to you to keep going.
That's very exciting. It's 95%, right, which is a solution-based platform, which is pretty cool because our latest innovation is here. We've been working extremely hard for this. We've been working heavily for this integration. So we're very proud to announce, get ready for it, Oh, you guys are all obedient. I like it. All right, our KTS2. Very exciting. The Kantech tenant entry system. We've partnered up with a company called MyDoorView. It is a cloud company that manages tenants. They are experts at managing the tenant and that cloud connectivity. We are the access control experts. Taking both these platforms together and bringing into one is the perfect platform for our system. So we're very excited to actually bring that nested or blended integration into one platform. EntraPass front end. This is where EntraPass manages everything. Like our other integrations, EntraPass manages the access control, it manages the video, the playbacks, and the entire platform for the KTS is entirely in EntraPass, giving us a single pane of glass for our platform. Pretty cool? Don't get tired of clapping because there's a lot of stuff to know. All right. One of the benefits is the Kantech controller is still in charge. There's still a Kantech controller, those KT1s, those KT2s. If you still have KT200s, it's time to upgrade, but they will still work with this integration because the Kantech controller controls the door and the KTS2 connects to it through the cloud connectivity through EntraPass. So we get the ability to take the advantage of the KTS2 tenant entry, marry it with the Kantech door, and bring it as one to that customer. Pretty cool. Now, let's talk about the fun stuff, the hardware, right? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So it's a 7-inch display touchscreen, so you can touch it and use it on your screen if you want. You can have it a surface mount, a flush mount, and you can also have a little rain hood, so you can actually make sure that if there's too much sun or extreme cases, you can use it. It has an IK8 rating. Not to go through the details, but you can hit it pretty hard with a hammer, and it will survive. Okay? Pretty cool? It has the ability of you putting an ioSmart in here. So you physically add an ioSmart, and you attach it to the Kantech controller. What does that give to that customer? All the features that EntraPass has with the ioSmart, the enrolling, the mobile credentials we just talked about, all that, it's an ioSmart reader. To that tenant, to that guest, to that person, is just another door to his system where he can take his phone, his credential or his phone, tap it on the reader, and go through. If he wants to enroll it, he just presents it on the ioSmart reader that's in here, and off we go. Pretty cool? So, I'm not a telephone expert, but one of the benefits of the KTS2 is that it's a PoE device. You plug in the PoE, and automatically it's configured. There's no SIP lines, there's no voice over IP settings. It automatically starts calling out. It's plug and play, DHCP, ready to go. What does that mean? You configure it, you plug it in, you program your tenant, and you start calling out. You don't have to get a voice over IP plan, you don't have to get anything. It automatically does that part of the package for you. Now, if you think the hardware KTS is cool, the next KTS is cooler. We are very proud to announce a virtual QR code KTS. It's exactly what it is. You can actually scan it and call me, but I won't answer because I'm here, right? This QR code KTS is your KTS. You configure it in EntraPass. We give you the file. You put it on any material you want, metal, chrome, plastic. You put that on the wall of that building. When the visitor shows up, he scans the QR code with his phone, and now his phone is the KTS. Nothing to wire, nothing to power up, nothing to do. You just put this QR code on the wall, and off you go. Who manages the access control? The Kantech controller still manages everything. Ideal for places that are hard to get power to or places that need a bit more security or anything like that. Pretty cool? Now you can customize it, change colors, you could put your face on it, you could put your company logo, as you wish, all managed through EntraPass. So you don't have to worry about all those things. You name it, it downloads the file, you print it on your material. You put it any color you want that makes sense with the QR code. Pretty cool? Now, effortless deployment, but we also added something called geofencing. What's really important is this is a QR code. Any smart person can take a picture of the QR code, go home, and while they're eating popcorn, they could start prank calling everybody, right? Not a very good platform here. So with the GPS geofencing, we specify that this KTS can only be used within X amount of meters from this device, or X amount of feet if you're in the US, right? So the benefit is as the visitor comes up, he scans the QR code. If it's within 100 meters or so, it will work. You have the full control of this. You could turn it off. Now, for our demos, we turn them off so you can be anywhere in the world and use it if you want. That's our KTS. Now, what we've also done with this KTS is the ability to merge the tenants. We've learned from our KTS 1. We've learned from that platform where it allows us to take a tenant and a cardholder and make them one. You don't have to program all those things all together anymore. Now, separately, I mean. So the benefit is you could take a tenant in the cardholder menu and program everything you need. You don't need to program it separately. So the advantage here is not just about the name. It's not about the phone number of the person. We merge them together so when you program it, it's one interface as the entire platform. Now, one of the ideals here is it's above and beyond the actual PIN number. We take the PIN number of that tenant and we merge them together as one. So this way, when I have an access control card, an access control door, or anything together, it actually works as one. So if I have a PIN number, why should that PIN number be different for the access control system or any other system out there? All right, I think we're almost back. All right, we're almost there. So, I think I know the slides by heart. So, one of the benefits of all this is you can merge all these together. So you program that PIN number once because a door is a door is a door. You don't have to worry about all these configurations together. We've also added a new feature called the guest controls. This is where it gets interesting, where you can actually have a guest configuration in EntraPass. A guest belongs to a tenant, where you can actually program tenants and guests together. So if I'm a tenant, I can actually configure my guest in my platform under me. So grandma, grandpa, if I'm having a party, I don't have to give you all, you have to all call me. You could simply create a PIN number and give it to you people or by text message, and you could just enter it into the platform, giving you the ability of controlling all this from the platform itself. Pretty cool? We also have a tenant app, right? How does the visitor call the tenant? It's pretty straightforward. He just calls him. Now, the tenant can answer it via a standard telephone line, or he can enter it, with the video tenant calling. What does that mean? I can do *9 to unlock the door, and the visitor goes in, or I could actually use a video calling feature, which the tenant can see the visitor, make sure that's Bob, that's Nick, and unlock that door for that tenant directly into the platform, all from there. One of the advantages of all this is that the tenant can actually create, oh, there you are. A tenant can create his own guests, because the property manager doesn't need to bother creating guests. That's the tenant's job. The property manager creates the tenant, and the tenant does everything else. Now, if you're like me and you have too many parties, as a property manager, I could turn off your tenant, your guest controls, so you can create guests. So this way, there's too many people going through the actual building. All right, pretty cool. We're back. Another great feature we added is the elevator integration. We modernized the Kantech KTS elevator integration. The days of pulling cables through the entire building and going up the shaft and pulling, I don't know how many hundreds of feet of cable and doubling everything out is gone. Now it's cableless integration. We attach the Kantech elevator controller, which manages the entire platform, and off we go. Oh, there's more. So we have direct-to-tenant control, where the actual tenant can control the guest from there, but also the visitor calls the tenant unlocks the door, we call down the elevator or elevators, which you configure through EntraPass directly yourself, and then the visitor just presses the button. Now, if you have to walk too much or too short, we can control the distance of how long the door will unlock for. Now, we also introduced stackable floors. What if it's a very popular building? What if there's a lot of deliveries? All these floors now stack. As visitors get on, they will stack for their own respective amount of time. But doing this kind of gives the visitor the ability to walk in the building. What if I have access doors in between? What if I have other Kantech doors throughout the building and that visitor has to go through? Now, when we showed this feature to our customers, they gave us a question. How can we secure these doors for visitors? Visitors don't exist in the system. They're not guests. A guy that's going to show up once in his life, deliver, your Greek food or something, and we're done, right? So we actually introduced a access control feature with our KTS called Visitor Access Pin. Now, this is next level security, right? What do? The visitor goes up to the KTS, calls the tenant unlocks the door, that's easy, right? But what happens is, what if there's an ioSmart reader past that front door? Very straightforward, the KTS pops up a PIN number, the visitor has to remember it or take a picture, and you can use that PIN number for a short period of time on any ioSmart reader after that. So this way, we're not unlocking the door, we're guiding the visitor towards a secure place. So he puts the code on the ioSmart reader, which is now a Kantech card, and it's all put together into that platform. Pretty cool? Now, I didn't know this until I was talking to my door view. How do people buy KTSs? How do people license doors? It's very simple. Number of apartments, number of tenants, square footage of the building, divided by the number of sites, and that's your price. You guys got it? Simple. Repeat after me if you want, right? No. We kept it very simple. You have as many tenants as you want. You don't pay per tenant. You don't pay per family. You just configure tenants in your system, and off you go. This is huge because yes, Dan, thank you. Wow. You configure the tenant, the KTS itself. Yes, there's a license for the KTS, but then put as many tenants as you want. This gives that user experience to that customer to keep it very simple. You pay a flat fee per KTS, and off we go. Somebody moves in, somebody moves out, I don't have to worry about that. The property manager doesn't care. This makes it very, very cost efficient, but also simplifies the customer's life. Pretty cool? So, all these cool features, we obviously missed a slide or two here, but what's really cool is, when is the KTS 2 coming out? When do you guys want it? It's coming fall this year. So give it a month or two, it'll be out for you guys. I'm very excited. I'll have to take a break soon. All right. The next innovation spans many years. Kantech's been around for 40 years, obviously, right? This next innovation has been used on thousands and thousands of doors for many years, probably 30 years plus. Used on every single door you install, or most of it. So it's been using it. So guess what we're doing with it? We're introducing our T-Rex 2. It's all about the user experience. We're keeping it simple. You had to buy a relay or two relays or a buzzer or a lock and this. It was a lot of old technology from 1995 in the pricing world, right? Obviously, the technology itself is cool, still works, but why pick 2 relays in 2026? So the T-Rex LT, the T-Rex 2 LT, you get everything. You get your 2 relays, you get your buzzer, you get your tamper, you get the whole thing in your T-Rex. You don't have to worry about picking and choosing. You just get the T-Rex, and off you go. Fully loaded T-Rex for you guys. Pretty cool? We're using the advanced PIR so you can actually control the T-Rex. I know you guys use the level on the T-Rex, but every door is a bit different. And you guys have been installing doors for 30, 50 years, even before Kantech, right? But since you guys make Kantech, which is the best, in my opinion, you stuck with it, right? So you can adjust the sensor of the T-Rex, pivot it, adjust the lenses, all those flexibilities to make sure that Rex experience is what you want on a door. Pretty cool? Now, we're also giving it in white and black, however you want, for your T-Rex. We'll have back plates for them, so you can replace the old T-Rex for a new one, or if you have to put over a cover on the T-Rex itself. Now, before I take my break, because I get very excited, EntraPass has been evolving its languages. We keep on adding languages, past English, French, Spanish. We have Italian, we have German, we have Dutch, and so many other languages. If you guys know all the flags, we're all good. We also added very recently our Hebrew and Arabic languages for our European and Middle Eastern customers, so they can use this platform on multiple languages natively on the platform. Pretty cool? I'm going to invite Jordan Lynn back here to talk about some Exacq information and some cool stuff, and I'll be back shortly. Jordan, thank you.
Thanks, Tom. I'm just happy I got to give Tom a break. Man, he's been up here forever. Get some water. Thanks, Tom. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Jordan Limback. I am the product manager for exacqVision, and it is really exciting to get to talk about a couple solutions that we have with Exacq that are really groundbreaking to share with everyone today. So 2026 marks 20 years that Exacq has been in business. Over those 20 years, we've sold over 6.5 million IP camera licenses. We have over 85,000 Exacq licensed MVRs. And those MVRs connect to over 6,600 different camera models, okay? We help customers in over a dozen different verticals solve problems, right? From K through 12 and retail to cruise ships and correctional facilities, right? While each industry, each vertical is gonna have their own unique set of problems to solve, we can identify some common themes that customers face in 2026 as it relates to their security, right? What are some of those challenges that they face, right? Overwhelmed staff. So after just 20 minutes of reviewing footage, an operator can miss up to 95% of what they're actually looking for, right? If it's me, it's probably 3 or 4 minutes, right? Because our brains just aren't built for handling that repetitive information while still trying to pick out distinct things, right? They could have staffing shortages, right? What may have previously been a 6-person team could now be a 2-person team. So each person has to do more with fewer resources, right? So it's a challenge. They may be looking for specific threats, okay? Maybe a school has an individual who's banned from school grounds. They need to know right away when they show up, okay? Someone looking at a monitor just waiting for some person to show up probably isn't the best way to go about that, right? They need to know right away. There's the reactive monitoring, the reactive nature of traditional video monitoring, right? We're relying on video to be recorded based on some event or something, and an operator is reviewing that and then responding accordingly, right? So just this reactive nature in general is a challenge for customers. And the last one is a big one, existing infrastructure. So customers can tie up tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars even, in their servers, their cameras, their Kantech systems, their licensing, right? So ripping and replacing those is costly, it's disruptive, and it's just not efficient, right? So being able to leverage their existing infrastructure, get the most out of it, really is key for customers. So now in 2026, we can leverage AI technology to solve a lot of these problems. And that's why today I'm excited to talk about the Exacq Intelligent AI solution powered by ScyllaAI. So ScyllaAI is an AI-powered analytics platform. They were founded in 2019 by tech and security experts. So it's founded by folks that are in the industry. They know what they're doing. They have their own proprietary AI algorithms that they have tested, they developed themselves, so they're not paying royalties to anything. And they take their testing very seriously with their algorithms. So for the first time ever, we are, through our distribution channel, selling Scylla's AI servers and their analytic licensing, right? For the first time ever for Exacq. So that's pretty huge for us. Scylla offers a variety of different analytics, right? They do things from slip and fall detection, to facial recognition, even vehicle ID and tracking, right? And we'll see some examples here in a little bit of just how those are applied. Scylla is real-time threat detection and monitoring, okay? Those streams are being sent to the Scylla box in real time. That data is being analyzed, and those event alerts are sent right back to your ExacqVision server, okay? So you can be notified ahead of time or right as an event occurs that there is a threat that's been detected, right? It's a very accurate solution, right? Scylla boasts a 99.5% accuracy rate for its weapon detection, right? It takes it very seriously. And they have a minimum of 95% accuracy for all of their analytics. They use a secondary AI verification to validate all of their alarms before sending them. So they take their false alarm filtering very seriously. We can automate responses, right? So based on a slip and fall being detected, right, we can alert staff to go assist a person, right? So we can get away from this reactive nature and start to be more proactive in our responses. The last one is a big one here, IP camera support. Scylla will run on any camera capable of an H.264 or H.265 stream. I'll say that again. Scylla will run on any camera capable of running an H.264 or an H.265 stream, okay? So we mentioned earlier customers needing to leverage their existing infrastructure, right? So they have, hopefully, Illustra cameras, right? But they may have 4 or 5 different manufacturers set up in their system, right? They can now leverage that and turn that into a real-time threat monitoring and threat detection system without ripping and replacing any of their hardware. So really, really exciting opportunity. So in terms of an architecture, what's this look like? Well, we've got our cameras connected to our ExacqVision box here. Hopefully you got some nice brand new Illustra cameras, right? That ExacqVision box sends the video streams off to this piece of Scylla hardware that you see on the right, okay? That piece of hardware is dedicated just to running those analytics. When it finds those events, those alarms, it's going to send those back to the ExacqVision server. From there, you can use the Scylla dashboard within the ExacqVision client, and you can even receive push notifications on the ExacqVision mobile app, whether it's your iPad or an iPhone, Android, any of those devices. So what kind of analytics does Scylla offer, right? The first is weapon detection. That's a really popular one that they do. I mentioned they have a 99.5% accuracy rate for these. So we're detecting things like rifles, pistols. We even had someone test, I think, an AK-47 and a rocket launcher, right, that it picks up. So weapon detection is a big one for them. Facial recognition. Use case here is I have a facility where I need to know every single person that's coming on site. Right? And as soon as somebody's detected that I don't know, it's not authorized, I want to alert my staff about it, okay? So facial recognition. Perimeter intrusion is big. I have a defined space, right? A region of interest, something, and I want to be alerted with anybody coming in or out of that space, right? And it's not just people that I'm tracking. I can do vehicles, I can do bikes, I can do any of those objects. Smoke and fire is pretty self-explanatory, but it's a big one. If I'm in a manufacturing facility, anytime a camera picks up smoke, fire, sudden flash, anything like that, it's going to send that alert right away. And we'll get to see that in real time here in just a minute. Vehicle ID and tracking. This is kind of like facial recognition, but for vehicles, right? I've got an authorized set of license plates that I want to be able to access my facility. And if I don't know a license plate, I can either deny them access or I can alert or trigger based on some other type of event. The second group of analytics are more behavior analytics. So previously, we were just looking for objects and alerting on those objects. Now we're looking for actual specific behaviors, right, or trends, and then we are alerting on those. Slip and fall I mentioned earlier. Suspicious shopper. If I own a retail boutique, I want to know if I've got somebody, shoveling stuff into their personal bag, okay? Traffic flow analysis. This is measuring the flow of objects through a specific area. I can use this for things like heat mapping in a retail location. I can see where my foot traffic is going using Scylla. I can manage occupancy too, right? I can define areas in my facility, and I can measure ingress and egress out of those areas. So really powerful with the traffic flow analysis. And the last one, aggressive behavior. We're identifying things like fighting or vandalism, things like that. So I've got a camera pointed at the office, and I see John and Tom start going at it, right? I can know right away, and I can send staff to interrupt. God knows what they're fighting about. But so we looked at the AI modules or the analytics that Scylla offers, right? What's the hardware offering look like here? Well, you can separate it into two buckets, right? The first is the Asteria line. So the Asteria line, this is the low-cost kind of SMB box that's ran on a ruggedized NVIDIA Jetson box that you see here, okay? These are built for those SMB and POC opportunities, right? And they come pre-licensed to run an analytic. Customers can choose from facial recognition, weapon detection, intrusion detection, smoke and fire, and fight and aggression detection to run on that box. Okay, there's no figuring out how many licenses they need, how many camera channels. They're going to come in a small size or a medium size, and your licenses are already taken care of. Okay, so really, really great, really fast to set up in a customer environment, and also really easy to add on to. If I have one box and I need to add another location, I can add a second box, and I can manage those all through the same interface. The second group of servers here are the custom AI servers. So these are the workhorses of Scylla's hardware line. These are the high-performance servers that have an upgraded CPU and video card in them, and they are built specifically to handle a lot of video processing. These will handle those complex customer deployments like having to run 20 channels of gun detection, 15 channels of facial recognition, and 10 channels of vehicle identification. Right? It will run those all simultaneously, and that piece of hardware is spec'd so that it can run all of those analytics efficiently, and then some, right? We're building a little bit of buffer in there as well. They come in a variety of flexible options. We've got a 1U, a 2U, and a 4U form factor with these, and the licensing is extremely flexible, right? As I mentioned, our licensing is not tied to a camera's MAC address. So if I've got a camera running facial recognition, and I have a channel of vehicle identification I want to switch to, I can easily swap those licenses out, no problem at all. So very flexible, very powerful for those complex deployments. Thank you. So you've got your Scylla integration set up with ExacqVision, right? There's this whole single pane of glass experience that I want to hit on, okay? In ExacqVision, we've updated our browser so that you can actually do everything in Scylla from configuration and everything within your ExacqVision client. So here, yeah. So here we're looking at things like alarm dashboard, right? I can see trends over time. I can see, if I see a spike of alarms on a specific day, well, that's going to immediately alert me to something that I need to look into a little further, right? I can look at the health of my analytic deployments, right? My gun detection, let's say I've got it running on 10 cameras. From my ExacqVision client, I can immediately see, hey, everything's green, I'm good. And if there's yellow or red there, I know I've got a problem that I need to look into, okay? So bringing those notifications right to the user's attention. And this is a cool thing. You can actually configure all of Scylla within the web client in ExacqVision, okay? Or the web panel within ExacqVision. Okay, so you can draw your regions of interest, you can create your Exacq events, all within that ExacqVision client without losing access to any of your video or anything else that you're doing. You can even look at your alarm management page. Let's say I've got 3 different facilities, and I've got Scylla set up at all those facilities. From a single page here, I can see all of my alarms as they come through in real time. Click on that, and it's going to bring that event up and play it for me right there. And so we're going to see smoke and fire detection in action here. So this next slide is going to contain a video. And so the operator is looking at some complex scenes, right? And we're going to have an alert come up, and we can show you how we can immediately bring that operator's attention to an event that needs escalated. So here we've got complex scene going on. We've got Tom and Dave down here talking in the bottom left. We've got a busy intersection at the top left that the operator's looking at, right? Smoke and fire is detected right back here, okay? So they're immediately notified. They bring the event up that's actually playing that live stream of it. They've got an event acknowledgement down here at the bottom where they have to acknowledge the event. We can even bring up a facility map with the icon of the camera flashing where the event is being detected. So you talk about real-time alerting on these events. This is huge, okay? So I'm going to turn it over to Amy for another Slido question.
All right, thanks, Jordan. All right, going back to our ScyllaAI models. So we want to get a good feel for how these different modules can help you better improve your business. So which ones are going to work the best for you? Having an overwhelmed staff, detecting specific threats, helping due to budget constraints, and helping proactive incident response. So overwhelmed staff, just like you talked about earlier, Jordan, definitely taking the lead there with that proactive incident response coming in now third.
I feel like I'm
and
watching
second,
a horse race.
back and forth. It's a horse race, yes. So looks like overall, it's helping with several different things that are happening in our operators world. So definitely a good use for Scylla, and keep voting, pull out those smartphones, check out the QR code, and let us know how we can best help with Scylla. I'll go back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Amy. So switching gears here, as we've leveraged our partnership with Scylla on the AI side, we're leveraging our partnership with Wasabi on the cloud storage side. Years ago, ExacqVision implemented, as part of our hybrid cloud strategy, S3 cloud archiving. Okay, it was initially through Amazon. Wasabi archiving is built on that same S3 architecture, right? The difference here is that we are now opening this up to professional licensing. It was previously restricted to enterprise licensing. Cloud storage is applicable to everyone, right? Let's be real. So professional and enterprise customers can now take advantage of this. So with Wasabi, what can they do? They can do things like supplement their current storage, right? If I want to keep 30 days on-prem and then after that I want to offload to the cloud, that's something they can do, right? Disaster recovery is another use case, right? If my MVR gets wiped out, I can have that video offloaded to the cloud so that I don't ever lose access to it, okay? And I can archive specific events from my camera to specific alarms to the cloud to have better control of what I'm managing on-prem versus what I'm managing in the cloud, okay? So coming up next is similar to what we've done with Scylla, with being able to sell that through our distribution channel. We're working on the same thing with Wasabi. So coming soon, you'll be able to sell Wasabi archiving directly through the Exacq distribution channel. So really exciting stuff. And I'm going to kick it over to Amy again for another Slido question.
Okay, one more that we want to get some more feedback on. So how does cloud storage play into your decision making? Is it that cloud storage is being used complementary to extend your local NVR storage? Cloud storage is the primary storage mechanism, or that it is preferred to have large amounts of local storage? So right now it's complementary. Keep voting. We've got some more coming in with it being the primary storage mechanism here and there. Doesn't look like we have a lot of large storage amounts, but definitely it's complementary. So it is helping to archive and get that NVR storage extended.
Not surprised at all to see that.
Yep. I'll send it back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Amy. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the man, the myth, the legend, John Stewart, to share some updates on ExacqVision.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jordan. That's some exciting stuff with Scylla and Wasabi and everything that we have going on with Kantech. So we were doing a dry run earlier today, and one of the production managers, I'm not going to name her name, Amy, told me to be funnier on stage, be more charismatic. Open up with a joke, open up with a story. And I was thinking, what kind of joke can I tell that won't offend people? And I don't have a joke that I can say in a mixed crowd. And I said, you know what? I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell a story about my mom. That's going to be safe, right? So I tell the story real quick to my boss, Rob Park, and he goes, no, you can't say that story. You'll get fired. So I can't do that story either. So what I'm going to do is actually just have a shout out. I'm going to talk about my team. So Rob was talking about, the regional sales managers, the distribution managers. I'm going to talk about the area sales managers. I manage the East Coast. We have 4 managers in various parts. So we have one down in South Florida, Gerardo Murillo. He's at a watch party at Silmar Electronics. We actually have 2 watch parties in New Jersey. So Matt Sorrells is our area sales manager in New Jersey. He is apparently able to be in 2 places at once. I have no idea how he's doing that. Up in New England, our resident New Englander, Bert Parfum, he is over in Westwood at the Wesco event. So if he's watching and the customers are watching, Alex, put down the chicken sandwich. You don't need another one. And then Kevin Bacek over in Cincinnati. He is at an ADI doing a great job. And so they're driving the attendance, they're making sure everybody knows what's going on. And so my job now is to tell you what's going on with Exacq. We always have to be told or tell our customers what's new, right? Sometimes you guys just don't know. You have multiple businesses, you have multiple platforms you need to be aware of. And so my job today is to tell you what's new with Exacq in 26.1. I break it down into 3 different flavors. We have Enterprise Manager, which is our broad strokes of management. It's our software that's free with enterprise licensing. It comes with the ability to do failover, redundancy, user management, profiles, things like that. Then we talk about the client. The client is your ability to view those cameras, integrate Kantech, integrate Salto. I don't want to call it the single pane of glass, but that's what it's merging into, right? We have the ability to start doing all these things. We can do the Bacnet soon from Kantech, so we can start to control all of our devices. And then, most importantly, or the one I'm proud of, is the mobile enhancements. We've morphed from being in front of a computer, hunched over, to on the go all the time, right? Everybody has their cell phone. You don't leave home without a cell phone. Maybe sometimes you forget your shoes, you forget your hat, you forget your keys. You have never left home without a cell phone. I can promise you that. So let me get into Enterprise Manager. And so what we were doing with this, we were solving problems. We've been around for 20 years, and within that, we were innovating and driving features, and then we started to see that there were other problems that customers were having. And so one of those problems was user management, identification of the users and the profiles. And so within Enterprise Manager, you have the ability to create groups and assign users to different cameras. But what happens when you want to take those users and move them to the cloud, right? You're hearing Tom and you're hearing Jordan talk about the cloud and this hybrid mentality. So with Okta and Entra, those are 2 powerhouse cloud platforms that allow you to manage your users remotely in the cloud. We can, thank you. Tom is just waiting there, just waiting to clap. We got to give him some reasons to. So the Okta and Entra allow you to integrate your user profiles in Enterprise Manager. So that single password that you use to log into your computer, to your email, to your MySpace, if you're Rob Park, you now get to use that to log into your NVRs. There's a couple of people joking about that. So the next enhancement actually goes into that Okta and Entra. It's the password management. Right? So for those of you that use SnuggleBear72 as your password, that could actually get audited because you need a special character. Within Enterprise Manager, we have the ability to audit those passwords. If it's too weak or too long or it's been outdated or hasn't been updated at all, the IT administrator that is managing Enterprise Manager now gets to see those passwords. So in any system, in any network, the vulnerability is going to be coming from the weak passwords, right? So SnuggleBear72, Exacq123, Admin256, those are going to get flagged. allowing your customers to know that their network is safe, their NVRs and their information are even safer. Sound good? All right. I didn't mean to throw you off. You were probably changing your passwords from SnuggleBear72, whatever. The last enhancement within Enterprise Manager is the AI camera inspection. You've been hearing this AI buzzword. Jordan was talking about it with ScyllaAI. And so what we're doing is putting that AI into the camera inspection itself. If you have a small site, 16 cameras, 32 cameras, whatever it is, our camera inspection was very easy for you. You poured a cup of coffee, you sat in front of the computer, and you played good picture, bad picture. If those pictures lined up, you moved to the next one, and your cameras were good. But as your system grew, as your buildings grew, your responsibilities grew. And you didn't have time to look at the good pictures and the bad pictures and designate which ones needed to be replaced. And as those systems grew, they grew to thousands of cameras. And that single cup of coffee turned to a pot of coffee. That pot of coffee turned to a couple of pots, and soon an addiction, and then you had to give it up. The AI camera inspection allows you to go through thousands of cameras quickly. It floats the problem cameras to the top so that you know that there's now a bird's nest in front of the outdoor camera. One of the indoor cameras was moved because a teenager in a high school swatted it down. And those are the ones that you can roll a tech out, address those, fix those so that you don't miss any incidents, right? This is all about awareness, and we want to make sure that you're aware of the solution and the system and the problem before it happens. Sound good? I love this live audience. I got to get this at home when I do things, like, clean up when my wife tells me to. Anyway, within the client, that second pillar that I was talking about, we started to weave in the hybrid solution. So the remote connectivity that we talked about, we introduced it into the thick client. So we no longer have port forwarding. We no longer have open ports or IP address, public, all that stuff. This allows the user to generate a 6-digit code, the username and password, and log into the browser or log into the server remotely. If you guys are familiar with the mobile app that I'll show you in a minute, it's the same architecture. It's a web relay that we host. You don't even have to deal with that, and you can connect to that server via the remote connection. Good? Love it. One of the other things that we did within the client is you heard the great Greek philosopher Tom Christos say, a door is a door is a door. So at this point, you had to have heard that Salto integrates to Kantech. And you also had to have heard that Kantech integrates into Exacq. And so now what we've done is created that audit trail within Exacq from Kantech, from Salto. So whether it's your offline lock, whether it's your online ioSmart, you are getting all of those notifications within Exacq. So creating that single pane of glass that Jordan was talking about earlier. So those problems were solved. Some of the other things that we did, and you can't see it from here, but I have blinding lights in my eyes. It's causing a headache. And that was one of the problems that we saw with the client in SOC-like environments, right? Security guards that were using the system 24/7. We had a theme that was very light. We enhanced it to a dark mode so that it's less strain on the security guards. Just like Jordan was saying, thank you. Just like Jordan was saying, there's an attention span, and it's 20, 30 minutes. For me, it's about 3.5. And after that, I start to get tired and look around and bored. But because of that enhanced dark mode, those security guards can concentrate, and they have a lot of information coming in, and so now they're not going to be tired about looking at those strained lightings like I have right now. The last one that we have within the client is OnVIF Profile T. So I know you're going down the alphabet. We had A, we had B, we're now at T. So what that means is if that camera has OnVIF Profile T, it includes H.265, it includes HTTPS, it includes audio, and it includes the metadata from the analytics. So in addition to the 6,695 camera drivers that we have in Exacq, we now have the ability, if there's a new camera manufacturer that pops up touting ONVIF Profile T, we can incorporate all of those features into the Exacq server. So it makes it easier for you and your customers to stay, current with the new technology. Good? Love it. Within the mobile app, we made 3 enhancements. The first one is multi-camera search and playback. In the first iteration, which came out last year, you could search a camera one by one, which was great, right? It allowed you on the go to be able to search an incident, download it, send it to your friends, send it to the security guards, whoever it is. Now we've increased that, we've enhanced it, we've made it more better, where we're doing multiple cameras, because those incidents don't just happen in front of a single camera. They span multiple cameras, from the front door to the back and around the side. You have the ability to start that investigation before you even get into the office. So you can have those cameras, you can find when that incident happened, and download it to your phone. Additionally, you're doing all that work, you're searching the cameras, you're finding when that incident happened, you can push that video. So within Video Push, from your mobile phone, you can push that to an operator in the SOC and say, hey, I want you to check this out. Or that security guard can then push that video to a tablet and share the information, right? It's see information, it's share information. So that Video Push allows that exchange. I think Kafil is just getting addicted to clapping. I love it. The last one that we've made, one of the last enhancements, is alert notification. And it's not necessarily being alerted on an event, although we can do that. So when a gun is detected through ScyllaAI, you can get that alert on your mobile phone. But what this is doing is, if you're like me and like everyone else that's playing with their phones, you get so many notifications a day. You get thousands of emails and text messages, and if you're on a group thread, you walk away and you have 100,000 messages that you don't even want to read. You get lost in those notifications and you don't see them. They get missed. Well, with alert notification in the alert center, you now have the ability to see all of those alerts. So the ScyllaAI detection, the edge analytics from Illustra that we'll talk about in a little bit, it is all in one single location. So you're not missing anything. Sound good? All right. So Tom loves being in the spotlight, me not so much. I'm going to welcome him back. I really wanted to present this next part, but I lost an arm wrestling contest with him, and so I guess that I don't get to present. So I'm going to welcome Tom Gifto-Christos out to the stage.
John, very well done. Very well done.
Much, buddy.
Nice, cool stuff. All right, guys, that was exciting. Now, what's next? We've been working on this for a long time. We've been listening to your feedback. You've been asking for this. You want this. Can you guys guess what this is? I'll give you guys a second to pause. You guys are getting the first look at this. The world unveiling of this. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you guys are. We are so very proud to announce that we have Exacq Web. You guys are on cue. I like it. We've been working very hard for this new Exacq Web platform. I know that John just showed you a bunch of cool things on the Exacq mobile. We've leveraged that technology and we brought it into a web browser. We took what you guys love about the mobile experience and we brought it into a web web browser platform. Now, we just didn't copy the mobile and call it a day. We took that experience and ported it properly into a web experience. All the menus have been placed properly. All the interfaces have been placed properly. But one of the advantages here is all the features you're used to with our mobile are now available with our web platform, all into one together. So this way you can move between the web and the mobile all together between one and the other. Pretty exciting? We can do live video. We can do searching. We can do playback. We can export our video. We have the monitoring wall. All the features you're used to with the Exacq mobile are available now on Exacq Web in a browser experience. We've even added two-way audio so you can talk to the person while you're watching to them, and you can obviously hear them. All these features available on the Exacq Web. Now, we took all these features and we modernized the experience for it. We also manage how we log in to the platform. That admin 256 that John was talking about, you shouldn't have it anymore. While Exacq NVRs are all independent, they're all managed together. But to that end user customer, he doesn't care where that NVR comes from. He needs one login. Because like a door is a door is a door, a login is a login is a login. I'm going to coin that one also, right? Because so when you log into the Exacq Web first, it will propagate all across all your NVRs locally. Because you can have 5, 10, 50, 100 NVRs, whatever number you want. You could put them all together and log in through that web portal. Building for the future. As we develop all these cool features, we're building the modern structure so you can have that experience for our customer. Now, we allow you to control the entire platform. It's your bandwidth. It's your network. It's your NVR. You can take all the NVRs you have, put them together under one web server, under one platform, and log in from there. You control everything securely through your VPN, your platform, and access the Exacq Web without consuming internet or getting complicated firewall problems. It's controlling your local cloud through the platform. We also support multi-server, so you can have many Exacq servers into one. So you're not really managing individual web servers. I don't have to go to the address of each Exacq server to log in. They're all together on one Exacq web server, multiple cameras. We've defined the way the cameras connect. Why should I pick an Exacq server first? The customer doesn't care which NVR we're on. What does he care about? That camera. I want to see that slip and fall. I want to see that person. I want to see that door. All that information is by the camera, which is what the customer cares. Now, are you guys excited? So you guys think I came all the way here and showed you only PowerPoints? I hope not. So we're going to show you Exacq Web. This is a working version. So let the journey begin. Click twice.
Introducing the new ExacqVision Web. See more and find what matters faster. Manage video with a web experience designed for the way you work today. The updated ExacqVision web experience brings a fresh, modern design to your browser with streamlined navigation that makes everyday video management more intuitive. Start with the cameras and locations that matter most. Create custom views for specific areas, entrances, or high-priority locations so you can quickly focus on the video you need. Need broader awareness? Monitor Wall automatically cycles through your saved views, helping you keep important areas visible without constantly changing screens. When it's time to investigate an event, ExacqVision Web helps you move from live video to answers quickly. Search recorded video and use visual thumbnails to narrow in on the right moment with greater precision. Jump directly to a specific date and time, then navigate the timeline to understand what happened before, during, and after an event. Once you've found the video you need, save it for the next step. Create bookmarks to preserve important moments for an investigation, or export video for storage, review, or sharing. It's a simpler, more intuitive way to monitor, search, and investigate right from the web. ExacqVision Web. Modern video management built for what's next.
Find out more. Call your ExacqVision rep today.
Pretty exciting, no? I actually like the look and feel. It's pretty cool, sleek. You have all the functions, easy menus. You have your exporting, the playback, those video walls, the thumbnails that you guys saw, all those available through the Exacq Web. But the hard question is, when, Tom? When is this coming out? How does it work? How can I get it? Do I have to change all my NVRs? Do I have to change to the brand new stuff? How do I get this? I want this. Well, we're very excited to say that it's coming out this fall. This fall. And the user experience is very straightforward. You upgrade to 26.2, which is coming this fall at the same time. And if you have an active SSA, you can start using your Exacq Web. You don't need to buy a license. You just start using it on your local network automatically using your experience. So we're taking the existing, all those features of Exacq Web, or Exacq itself, and bring them in a new modern experience using Exacq Web. Our objective is that the Exacq Web becomes the primary platform. We'll be adding more and more features as we get along. But we want to give you this customer experience with the Exacq Web as fast as possible so you can see, wow, this is pretty cool. Now, if you don't have an active SSA, what do? Call John and Rob and the company, and they'll help you guys upgrade to the newest version. Pretty cool? Now, this is where it gets really fun. I'm going to bring up John Stewart again to give us some cool stuff. I won't say what it is. John.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's something we've been waiting for, and I'm very excited to have that. And so what I'm here to talk about now is the Illustra cameras. The Illustra cameras, if we didn't have these, you really wouldn't have a complete solution. So I'm not going to go into the entire portfolio. I'm not going to talk about the PTZs or the corner mounts or the mini domes or the micro domes. I want to talk about the ones that we've introduced this year, right? And before I get into that, I want to remind everybody that when you buy an Illustra camera and you put it on Exacq, you don't pay a license fee. So whether it's one camera, whether it's 100 cameras, there is no license fee. So that cost savings, I'm going to try to do math live, is a lot. That's the number. You're going to save a lot of money doing that. So the first camera we are going to introduce today is our license plate recognition camera. This was helping us, or helping the customers see license plates, recognize license plates without having to draw long runs of cable out to the parking lot. At 197 feet of recognition, we can see those license plates while the camera is installed on the building itself. We have IR for over 230 feet, so we are able to project and see at night and capture those license plates. Good stuff, right? The next problem that we had, or the next problem that we solved, was minimal installs, minimal holes in the building, but being able to see large areas. So our multi-sensor panoramic camera is doing 180 degrees, 3 5-megapixel images stitched together. So that's not individual images that look disjointed, have washout or anything like that. This is finely tuned 3 sensors at 15 megapixels total. See, there, I did math live. And giving us a complete 180-degree coverage. This camera, along with the LPR and the one that you're going to see next, also have edge analytics. So if Scylla isn't something that your customer is ready to invest in, but they still need cameras, which they're gonna, you can utilize the AI that is in these cameras. So object detection, person, car. We can do upper and lower clothing. So if you have red shirt, yellow pants, it means that Ronald McDonald ran by your camera. In addition to all of that information, the edge analytics, our multi-sensor, our four-sensor image camera, they all have a 5-year warranty. So you can put them up. If lightning strikes the building, you have any issues, it's covered under warranty. We have this multi-sensor camera that comes in both fixed and varifocal, and it goes from -40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's probably good for, I don't know, a Canadian winter or something. We'll see. And then the camera's only as good as how it's mounted, so we've come out with the universal mounts, right? This is more options, flexible options, but less part numbers. So you don't have to worry about what mount goes with what camera. You buy the pendant mount, you buy the gooseneck, you buy the corner mount, they all work together. We wanted to make your lives as easy as possible. Hopefully we did that, right? Speaking of making your lives as easy as possible, we also wanted to save you a little bit of money. So I want to talk about some of the promotions that we're having on the showcase today. We have 2 that are specific to today. They're going to be limited time, but let me get into the first one. Oh, I didn't realize that we had a growing $ there, but there we go. So the first one that we have is the Kantech 40-year anniversary kit. So what we have here is a kit that is complete with a EK4, a battery pack, a transformer, 40 ioProx cards, a corporate edition cap token, and 4 readers. The only thing that this doesn't come with for the 40-year kit is reading glasses and back pain. You will get that, though, at 40. Because this is monumental and because this is a great birthday, 40 is not something to sneeze at. We decided to change the MSRP. So if you were to add all of those part numbers up and you were to buy them individually, you're looking at over $5,700 in US coin. But for a limited time, until these run out, they are $4,000 MSRP. Pretty good. We were talking last night at dinner, the Titan boys are already stockpiling them in Canada so the US doesn't get them. So we'll figure it out. Yeah. The other thing that we wanted to talk about in terms of promotions is a bundled discount, right? Home, auto, all that stuff. The more you buy, the more you save. So anything that you saw today, if you buy Kantech, you're going to get a 5% discount off of that purchased order. Somebody just knocked, but I don't know who it is. If you decide to do Kantech plus Exacq because you want to integrate access control and video into your customer's job, you're going to get 10% off of that purchase price. That's great. But wait, there's more. You also need cameras, right? So if you do Kantech and Exacq and Illustra, your price drops by 15%. So because I have the microphone and you're going to have to listen to everything I have to say, I get to make things up. And one of the things that I'm going to tell you guys right now is anything that you saw today counts. So if you wanted to introduce Scylla into your customer's environment, that goes into the discount. If you had a Salto project that you wanted to integrate into Kantech, that goes into the promotion as well. Those universal mounts that we were talking about, that's included. The only thing you have to do to get this promotion is work with your area sales manager. So I already talked about the 4 that are on the East Coast. We have Beza and the new Jason McKinnon down in Arizona. You might remember him from such countries as Canada last year. Talk to them. Talk to David Seaton in Texas. Those are the people that are going to get you your discounts. Phil and Jason up in Canada, that's all you have to do. Reach out to them, submit the PO before September 14th, and that discount is yours. Nice? So before we wrap up, I want to bring out some of the market experts. So I'm going to bring out Rob, Tom, and Jordan to come out and do a little question and answer, if that's all right with you guys.
All right. So what do you think so far? Exciting stuff, huh? Pretty awesome? Wonderful. So, I can't see the face. I think this is your question, John. Question for you, John. How is cloud adoption driving innovation in the market?
So I think cloud adoption, at least for Exacq and Kantech, is driving this hybrid mentality. We've been talking about it earlier. I've mentioned it a few times. It's about getting the customer there eventually, right? No customer is able to flip the switch overnight and go to cloud. There's not enough bandwidth, there's not enough budget, there's not enough infrastructure. But what we're doing is we're bridging the gap, and we're saying, we will get you there, Mr. Customer, eventually. You want to start doing Okta and Entra in the cloud? You can put that in your on-prem servers. You want to do web relay for your mobile application, for your on-prem servers? We can do that in the cloud. So what we're trying to do is make sure that the innovation that we have doesn't leave our customers behind, and it gives them a path forward.
Great response. Love it. Thank you, John. Next question. Question for you, Jordan. How does AI enhance customer experience?
Oh, man. There's a million ways I could answer that one. I think that the easiest way is just it boils down to time, right? We talked about staff being overwhelmed. So for staff, you are freeing them up, giving them more time to do other, more important activities. When it comes to investigations, you are cutting down time that it takes to investigate things because you're being proactively told that things are happening. And I think that when it comes to things like ScyllaAI, using that with ExacqVision, you're buying more time with your existing system, right? You can turn your entire system into proactive monitoring, right? You're buying time. So time, I think, is what it comes down to. Time is money. So
Yeah, very insightful. I agree. Thank you. And for the last question, Mr. Tom Gifto-Christos, what is the importance of solutions versus products in the commercial market space?
That's actually very important. It's answered in multiple ways. It's about the integrator, the property manager, and the end user using it. Nobody wants to have 3 different systems anymore. Taking that card, for example, and programming it on multiple different systems doesn't give an advantage. Specifically, if I let somebody go. The first thing they're going to do is remove your pay, right? But they're most likely not going to remove your card. Giving a solution where you can tie Active Directory with Exacq and Kantech, and then bring in the access control, bring in the Salto into one, gives one pane of glass for the card programming, which is what people do mostly. People program cards and they unlock doors in access control. If we could simplify these steps, where the property manager does one thing and is spreads across all his solutions, from tenant, access, mobile, it's the best solution ever.
Totally agreed. Yep. Thank you, Tom. And that brings us to the end of the presentation.
Thank you very much for everybody for coming to this 3rd year innovation showcase with our Kantech 40 years of innovation. And with Kantech and Exacq, we're very happy to have you guys. We hope to see you guys next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.